The favor of God continues as you will have football. Sunday night, Trojans, Titan Bayou Bengals. Number 23 Trojans. Number 13 Bayou Bengals. 7:30 kickoff. We've got a spread of LSU -4. ESPN FBI, LSU 54.8. Over under 64.5 points will be scored apparently.
Apparently they will. Maybe Vegas doesn't like many what LSU has brought to address their defensive issues, other than their D coordinator, who is a stud. And they're probably thinking Lincoln Riley still thinks it's a 2-phase game instead of a 3. You know, as long as you can kick your field goals, punt the football, and have an offense, you have a football team.
Oh my gosh. So we're in year number 3 of Brian Kelly, which still feels like he was just hired yesterday. This
Yes,
is pure insanity. But
it seems like he joined the Bayou Bengal family just yesterday.
I call that to your attention for this reason. In year 3, when he was at Cincinnati, he went to the Sugar Bowl. In year 3, when he was at Notre Dame, he went to the national championship. Is he going to make the playoff? Year 3? There's a lot of paperwork that says no.
Yeah.
You lost Jaden Daniels. You lost Malik Neighbors. Here we go. You lost a lot of offensive production. You have Harold Perkins returning on the defensive side, but did you get the whole thing corrected schematically? You had major issues. And now you've got this young, spunky kid for Southern Cal and the Trojans, Miller Moss. Oh my gosh,
Miller
my
Moss.
brain. Yeah. Miller Moss had a great bowl game, looking to come in and sling the rock. Lincoln Riley will find ways to exploit you. Here's what this comes down to for me. Can LSU stop the bleeding? Because if this is a shootout, I'm taking the Trojans.
100% with you on anything that gets into the the 30s. If both teams are in the 30s, I'm probably going USC. And you know, I'm dang close to taking them outright as it is. There's been movement in this line. Like you mentioned, it's LSU by 4 right now. That's down from earlier, you know, in this week, or when lines were originally starting to leak out. LSU, man, they just how could you give a Heisman winning quarterback a defense so poor as they did last year? Because I'm a Southern man, I said poor as, but it sounded like I said porous. Either works. It was a terrible defense. You've got one headline name, and they used to be battling for DBU, man, and they used to have defensive linemen in the top 3 rounds year in, year out, and they were getting told no in the portal like it was going out of style, like it was cool to stay at your school instead of transfer. That's the way it went for them. Yeah. And again, I love who they landed in the youngster from Missouri. I love that hire. But the personnel, man, the personnel is going to be their battle that they have to deal with this year.
Is there anything that says this won't be a shootout?
No, I don't think there is, because we've seen Lincoln Riley do it with just about every level of quarterback, and we think that Miller Moss is a pretty good one. I do, at least, and many others do, I know. And again, having seen him do it with so many others in the past, the weapons that they still have offensively, not named Caleb Williams, because they had some pretty dangerous receivers. They've been active in the portal as well. It doesn't always work out great, once guys land there, but still they've been good at it. There's no way that this over under is not safe at all. 64.5. That's only 32, 33 apiece, man, to get over that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
And I like this one to go over. There's no way it's not a shootout.
Yeah, I like this one to go over as well. And something that we failed to mention at the beginning of the segment is that this is in Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a much shorter flight for the Trojans than it is the Bayou Bengals. That could play into effect. We know what we get with Lincoln Riley. We know he can score points.
Yep.
We know that he really can't stop things on the defensive side, but man, what LSU did last year was just atrocious. That was worse than a Southern Cal defense, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the surprising thing here, and I'm gonna go Trojans.
I thought we were going to split on that. I thought I would catch you off guard with it.
You
Yeah,
too, huh?
I've talked. Well, I talked honestly. I talked myself into this one earlier this week, man. I LSU now has to regain my trust because you wasted a Heisman quarterback. Look, he was dang good last year. If you'd been in the playoff with Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and those guys with a above average defense, man, you would have been in the title hunt. And
Yeah, dude.
obviously, it didn't work out that way. It was atrocious the way it worked out. I'm going to trust Lincoln Riley here over Chip Kelly because you know, I got to see it now before I believe it for LSU.
I want to close this segment by this. I'm going to ask you this question. I'll do you the favor in answering it first. We both got the Trojans, so what does LSU have to do in order to win this? I think it's a simple formula. I think it's a really simple formula. If you if you can only create pressure with 5 or more, you've lost. You have to do it with 4. If you can create pressure with 4, I think you're in this. I'm not saying it's a blowout by any means, but I think think I give yourself a chance. You know what a Lincoln Riley offense is capable of doing. Can you disrupt it at the point of attack? Can you disrupt it in the trenches? If you cannot do that, the 64 and a half might cover itself by the Trojans alone.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously, it's an
honestly,
exaggeration, but you get my point.
yeah. I mean, seriously though, that if they can't do something, and I mean, force 2 punts a half with not having to blitz their pants off with rushing 4, USC is going to light that scoreboard up. They're going to wear it out.
Yeah, dude.
And again, man, I don't know how you do it because you've missed me. Even talking about the stud that Perkins is, I don't know. They haven't used him correctly. Surely this guy will. But yeah, they've got to get pressure with 4. They've got to somehow get back to their old selves, how we knew them as LSU in the defensive secondary all across the field. And I just don't trust them yet.
I got you, man. Hey, looks like we're both taking the Trojans. Nobody's chanting SEC here. Trojans win outright.